Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Men of Yoshiwara, Ohgiya, and we just hit chapter 3 of Gakuto's route, so that's where we're starting. Anyway, the morning after I spent my first night in Gakuto's room, Gakuto escorted me to the Pleasure District's main gate. Dear God, even in his casual wear, he's got the fucking boa on and he's fine as fuck. Jesus. Look, I hope you're going to turn out a little bit nicer, because you're a little bit of an ass. But I like it. So you're technically almost like the glasses asshole. You have an eye patch. It's close enough. Anyway. In the end, all we did was drink ourselves to sleep. Sorry, was I being impolite? Impolite? Did I do something rude? I had a hell of a time carrying you to your futon, but that's about it. Now that he mentioned it, it was strange that I woke up with the covers over me. Of course, I had no recollection of getting up and doing that myself. A thought crossed my mind. I was sure Gakuto had a laugh at how inexperienced I was. I mean, how many women do you think come to him that are inexperienced? I mean, it's like, this is a first. He's like, this is like a typical Tuesday for me. Spacey, you really are a modest girl. Huh? Your feelings always come out in your expressions. If you weren't so stubborn, you'd be such a cute, honest girl. So act like that from now on. Gakuto gently placed his hand on my head. His touch was surprisingly gentle and warm. The usual arrogant, ferocious feeling I got from him started to feel blurry. The kindness he was showing me was almost unimaginable coming from him. Then, do you think you could fall in love with the real me? Definitely. That's who I prefer. He smirked at me, raising only one side of his mouth. I entrusted myself to his bewitching strength. His hand gently caressed the top of my head, but he quietly slid it down along my cheek. And the funny thing is I find it funny, like, do you think you could fall in love with me? You're paying me to have sex with you and impregnate you. Like, does it matter if I love you? Like, I just find it funny that, like, down the road, yes, that's what you want. You are like, oh my God, I want him to be in love with me. But, like, right now you're like, I'm here on a mission. Does it matter if he loves you or not? As long as he does what you pay him for? That's all I'm saying. Like, so I think it's funny that she's like, it's still like, could you fall in love with me? Then he has to fall in love with every single woman he sleeps with. Like, pretty sure it's not how it works. But what do I know? I mean, it's weird. But then, he courteously kissed me on the lips. It was gentle, so different from all of his previous kisses. This is a daytime kiss, just a quick peck on the lips, no tongue down your throat. It's daytime. God. What next? You're gonna want him to hold your hands in the broad daylight. Jesus, girl. Alright, be safe. It looks like your escort is here too. And Musashi's like, I'm so fucking uncomfortable right now. I turned around to see Musashi waiting for me at the main gate. Our eyes met and I bowed to him. Thank you for taking care of me. You really are considerate even when parting. Is that strange? Or is it that strange? No, it's just like you, that's all. Oh, that's right. I'll bring some fabric next time. It's something that would look good on me. Huh? Does that mean I'm going to buy a kimono from you? I've been wanting to get a new one. Oh, thank you very much. With all of these new experiences and amidst all of this joy, it was like he was rewarding me.
Just wait. Just wait till you decide to go through with what you're supposed to be doing there.
You'll feel rewarded. This game kills me. I returned home that day with a sense that I had gained so many things. My behavior probably wasn't professional this time either, but Gakuto had told me that it was perfectly fine. That simple remark made my heart jump for joy. After returning home, I wasted no time telling my mother that Gakuto would buy a kimono. She was overjoyed. I stood there staring blankly when Mother told me to immediately start preparing it. It was past noon when I finished the preparations, and Musashi and I headed towards Yoshiwara. During the daytime, the Pleasure District felt like a completely different place. Passing through the main gate, we walked along the main road to reach Ohgiya. Gakuto had to have told the other employees because we were taken upstairs without delay. A After waiting for a little bit, it's like he's like, so next time you come, bring some fabric. And so she's like 2 hours later, bam, hey, what's up? He's like, seriously? Good afternoon, Miss Spacey. Utsusemi came in with his usual bright smile. I heard from Gakuto that you're bringing fabric, so I had to see it for myself. May I sit with you? Yes, be my guest. It's very pretty. Utsusemi stared at the fabric I brought and muttered words of admiration. In a matter of minutes, the front door became a lively gallery. I turned to see. I heard it's from Somei's drapery. Hey, don't push! Let me see it too! Oh, my. Hey, it's rude to peep in a private room. Utsusemi frantically scolded the courtesans in the hall. My apologies, Miss Spacey. Everyone wants to see the kimonos from your store. Really? Yes, your kimonos are popular here at Ohgiya, and the fabrics and tailoring are amazing. I didn't know we sold them to you. You'd think I should know this, but I feel like she's surprised about this. It makes me happy to hear you say that. I'm not trying to be polite. I'm telling the truth. Utsusemi acted shyly, and I could tell that he wasn't just trying to flatter me. Thank you. Everyone can see it if they'd like to. Once I made my announcement, the courtesans rushed into the room. When it started to become chaotic, I thought I heard something lively going on, but it's just a merchant peddling. Oh, Asagiri. It looks fun, so let me in on it too. Yes, it would be my pleasure. Asagiri joined us, and we had a merry time. Nevertheless, Kakuto seems to be taking his time. He probably wasn't with a customer since it was still daylight outside. A sense of anxiety started to run through me. He's probably napping. I mean, this is his room, so he's like, just saw her, and oh my god, I gotta make her wait. Gotta make her wait so that she gets all anxious and that she'll want me more. He's like trying to play hard to get, isn't he? As I continued to talk with the other courtesans, I started to imagine all sorts of things. All of a sudden, Gakuto's words from last night popped into my head. Do you know a girl with a scar on her forehead? For some reason, my heart started to well up with emotion, and Asagiri, if you wouldn't mind telling me something. I lowered my voice to question Asagiri. What is it? I had heard that Gakuto is searching for his sister. What exactly happened? His sister? Yes, he'd said that they'd been separated their whole lives, and to tell him anything I knew. Maybe it's not a sister, it's a secret lover wife, and we're gonna end up with Musashi. That would really piss me off, though. You do this in Gakuto's route? No, fuck you. Can't do that in anybody's route, by the way, but I'm sure it is his sister. But, you know, I gotta be prepared for the angst they throw at me, right? Huh. He has a sister on this island? Asagiri frowned, hesitating to say anything. That was when Gakuto was born on the mainland, so it'd be odd for his sister to be on this island. I didn't know either. I wonder what their circumstances are. So, okay, Asagiri's from the mainland and he came here for funsies. Utsusemi was kidnapped and Gakuto is question mark. Takagawa was like the only one who's actually from this fucking island. Like, Jesus! Like, what? Are you I mean, I know I said we should have something to kind of lure men to the island, but not to lock them in the pleasure district. It was literally like just incentives so that more men will come to the island and then we wouldn't have this problem. But I guess they don't see it as a problem. They think the sex trade is awesome, I guess. I just think that maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Whatever. And don't be foolish, Utsusemi. What? Utsusemi overheard us and butted in. Asagiri began to frown a bit more. And this isn't something you should talk about casually. Kakuto wouldn't like it. Oh. It was hard for me to think that Kakuto was from the mainland and that his sister was here. Not to mention, I didn't know any girls with scars on their foreheads. I was sure there was more to it. Maybe that girl was Kakuto's long-lost love. See? Even she's paranoid thinking it. Because these games have a way of slapping you in the face. I mean, we're going to end up with him and it'll be great. But I'm just saying, it would be angsty and he'd be like, she was my long-lost love and I wanted to be with her, but I love you more. Forget her. You know what I mean? And you'd be like, the fuck game? Why couldn't it have just been a sister? You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, all of my actions up until now were so foolish. Spacey, you don't have to make such a serious face. You can always talk to me if you ever have a problem. Thank you. After that, Spacey, sorry to keep you waiting. Kakuto showed up, and the other courtesans dispersed. In the end, I wasn't sure if I was feeling sad or frustrated. Not knowing how to deal with my emotions, I desperately tried to reply. Miss, are you alright? As soon as I left Ohgiya, Musashi wasted no time in asking me how I felt. I never thought they would get so excited. It was a little tiring. No, that isn't what I meant. After that, Utsusemi and Asagiri informed me about Kakuto's sister. That was what Musashi was asking me about. Please don't mention it. No, I'm completely fine. What? That's not a... What? I'm sure the answer is I'm completely fine, but I like, what? Because that would be me. It'd be like, lost in thought, and they'd be saying something. What? So, me, 100% would be what, but no, the right answer is I'm completely fine. I told you that was the right answer, but I wanted to say what. I'm completely fine. Understanding what Musashi really meant, I gave him that short reply. Is that so? Kakuto was a very popular courtesan. It wouldn't take him any effort to entice a naive girl like me. I felt irritated, frustrated. He can work out that frustration with you, I'm just saying. He had me on his strings like a puppet as I innocently enjoyed our time together. I felt so embarrassed. A few days later, I began to display the unsold fabric in the storefront for a cheaper price. Oh, what a beautiful fabric! Yes, but I like this one. Can you calculate our total, please? Thank you, come again. The store was filled with all kinds of new customers and business was booming. I thought about the events that had happened at Ohgiya. Even though I tried to keep myself busy and forget about it, Kakuto always popped into my head. I wanted to forget so badly, but couldn't. You're in the way! Because we were so crowded, one of the customers staggered. Are you okay? I quickly helped her up. Yes, I'm fine. Her long hair was all messed up and covered her face. She's gonna be the woman with the scar on her forehead. What do you want to fucking bet? And then I could see a scar on her forehead. Like, for fuck's sake, like you didn't see that coming a mile away like I did. It was so shocking that all I could do was stop and stare. That scar. Oh, it's nothing. The woman hurriedly covered her forehead with her hair, pulling away from me. To begin with, this scar is like a Medal of Honor. What? The courtesan I got involved with long ago gave it to me. The woman had to have felt shaken up because she began to talk about it even though I didn't ask. How did that happen exactly? Just drop it! He says it's his sister. But it's not. She's like, the courtesan I got involved with. Uh-huh. And then, but I got even by injuring his eye. An injured eye. It felt like everything in front of me was about to turn black. The woman quickly stood up and ran away from me as I stood there absent-mindedly. Her old flame had to have been Kakuto. Kakuto and that woman had been involved with each other in the past. She wasn't his sister at all. See? Why you gotta do this shit, game? She was just his old lover. So he injured her. Maybe it was by accident. And then she, like, retaliated against him. And maybe he wants to apologize. It's just like, no, I want to find her because I want to be like, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's interesting. The second I figured out the truth, I felt sick to my stomach. Still, I had to meet with Kakuto out of a familial duty. However, knowing this unfaithful person... Unfaithful person! Wait. I'm just gonna back the fuck up. You're going to see a courtesan. Do you you know he's been with other women, so why are you calling him an unfaithful person? Unless they translated that weird and it was supposed to be untruthful. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because he lied to me. He said it was his sister. He could have just... And why would he, of all people... It's really weird, though. Why would he mention her? It's not like we overheard him. He whispered it to us. Why would you tell me? Like... You know what I mean? It seems weird. There's a reason for it, and we'll find out, but it just seems odd. What's wrong? Why are you making that scary face? My relationship with Kakuto kept going around in circles, which aggravated me. If I let my guard down for a moment, disappointment was always waiting for me. I was sure he would do something to move me emotionally. I couldn't help falling for his sensual behavior. Spacey, that's what makes him good at his job. Just saying. I don't know what you're so mad about, but stop pouting and cheer up. I'm not mad. I mean, yeah, you are. He lied to you, so you're mad. Then why are you making that face and being so quiet? Kakuto, well, it's because the things you told me about your sister are a lie, aren't they? What? The thin smile he had on his face quickly disappeared. Caught you. I'd heard that you were born on the mainland. Why would you be searching for your sister on this island? It doesn't make sense. Also, I ran into her and she said that the courtesan she was fucking hurt her and then she hurt him back. So, I mean, I just put the pieces together, but I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna keep this trump card and I'm just gonna lay out a simple card. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then you're gonna try to give me some bullshit and then I'm gonna be like, bitch, in your face. So, like, now's your time to come clean. Just like how we're playing games with him. I at least wanted to hear it from him directly. I wanted him to admit that he had a lover in the past. Again, but we know that. We know this! So it's weird. It was a special circumstance. What was it? That's between me and her. It has nothing to do with you. Is that so? In that case, I think we should have a divorce from each other. What? Even if you're only betrothed, I come here to see you every night, even if we're only betrothed. I come here to see you every night. I don't want to associate myself with an untruthful person. See, that makes more sense than unfaithful. Kakuto stared at me with a piercing glare. The truth is a useless tool for courtesans. Still, human relationships can't be fortified by lies. Oh, that's a good one. I don't even know who you really are. The man you see before your eyes is all that I am. Liar. Believe in me. I don't believe liars. What a stubborn girl you are. You were the one who told me that I shouldn't conceal who I really am. And you're so stubborn. It's the truest nature about you. Do you hate that about me? No. You were the first girl who's ever argued with me like this. Please take off your eye patch. I want to see your whole face. Excuse me? Please show me. I prayed with my last glimmer of hope. If his eye didn't have a scar on it, then that would mean that woman's story might not have been true. It all depended on whether or not he had a scar. Oh my god. What the hell are you thinking? And there's nothing pleasant to see under there. I simply want to see your entire face. If you're that bent on hiding it, then I don't think I can trust you after all. And this is where he's like, you can't trust me because I have an eye patch on? And you're like, no, I can't trust you because of the story the woman told me. And then you have an eye. So that's what it, but it's like, in his mind, he's like, how the fuck did you leap that bound? Where did that come from? Like, I've never shown this to anyone. And not even to Utsusemi, who's like a little brother to me. Please just show me. Please let me believe in you again. No. Then you don't care if I don't trust you? I couldn't help but yell. Oh. Then you don't care if I don't trust you? That's more what she said. Okay. What exactly do you want to know? What piece of information will actually satisfy you? Tell me the truth about this woman you're trying to find. No normal person would be willing to expose himself like that. Especially a courtesan. I can completely expose myself to you. Then show me. We are like fight sexing right now? He forcefully pulled me towards him and pinned me to the ground. After my back hit the hard tatami floor, I had trouble breathing. No! Kakuto undid my kimono, exposing my chest in one fell swoop. Not how I expected him to be. And I'm pretty sure if this were anyone else doing this, I'd be like, fuck no! But it's Kakuto, and I loved him from the very first second I saw him, so I'm accepting of it, and I don't like that about myself right now. My body was fully exposed. I couldn't resist him because it all happened so suddenly. In desperation, I reached out to touch his eye patch. Look, if you're gonna rip my clothes off, I'm ripping that eye patch off. I guess it's fair. Then I slowly lifted the eye patch, revealing his hidden eye. It was right there. He had a deep scar over his eye. The painful-looking scar crossed through both of his eyelids. The two of us stopped in place. After a short pause, Kakuto quickly turned away from me. I mean, he didn't want to show you, and he's getting a little rapey, so I mean, if that stops him, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? You shouldn't feel bad about it. She's gonna feel bad. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Wait, why am I apologizing to you? Like, I told you there wasn't anything pleasant to see under there. I was really hoping he was hiding it because he had, like, heterochromia and it was going to be, like, sexy as shit. Look, I just wanted to have faith in Kakuto, okay? I just wanted to have faith that he was a beautiful, precious soul, and he's kind of an asshole. I'm not saying I don't like it, but I'm just saying it's not the twist I expected. Like, I didn't expect it from him. So props to the writers for this. Because you expect Utsusemi or Takagawa to be kind of the assholes, and Takagawa was a little, he fought with us, but we started it with him, and then he just kind of gave it back. But he was actually pretty, like, it's like, why are you mean to me? Like, it just hurts my feelings. He was a little bit softer than you expected. Still feisty. But we really kind of, like, needled at him and made him more of a dick. Plus, he's kind of cocky. You know what I mean? I'm a little cocky, but, like, why are you being mean to me? That's not nice. And Utsusemi was actually just like the fucking sweetheart. And Gakuto's the asshole. Didn't see any of that. Asagiri you knew was going to be the whore, okay? Like, I mean, he just had that written all over him. And Agehubs had the little, he had the lolly boy, adorable bunny rabbit. You already knew. Those ones were obvious. The other ones kind of just switched some parts, and just saying. Not disappointed. I like that, because I didn't see it coming. Only a little disappointed that I love Gakuto so much, and he's like, look, if there's a cage anywhere in this room, I will get into it willingly, and I'm gonna hate myself for it. Don't be a Toma. Please just don't be. Oh. Okay, like, let's not do the cage thing, but, like, bondage maybe a little bit, that's fine. But, like, not the cage. Like, I'm gonna tie me up or something, I don't know, but, like, no cage. I feel like if I played Amnesia after playing all these other games instead of that being like pretty much the first game that we played, I might not hate Toma as much. Maybe I still would, because there are other characters that are doucheholes and I'm like, no, fuck you, I hate it. And then there's Gakuto and I'm just like, oh, well, okay, you know what, no, I'd probably still hate Toma. But like Iki or Kent tried to do that shit to me, fuck yeah, I'll get in that cage. Lock me up, motherfucker. I'll take it. Like, I just... So, I mean, I guess I can't blame people who like Toma and are into that. Because, again, Gakuto? People be like, no, fuck this guy. And I'd be like, I'm trying. But, like, she keeps fighting him off. Like, anyway. Gakuto fixed his eye patch as he spoke to me in a cold, low voice. I'm sorry. Again, why are we apologizing? I wish I hadn't looked. It would have been better that way. All I did was hurt Gakuto on my mission to find the truth. And again, what he did to you was... We're going to ignore that? Okay. Why had I wanted to see his scarred eyes so badly? Oh, let's just drop it. I'm sorry for what I did too. He reached over to me while my kimono was still a mess. He slowly started to fix it for me. I know what you're thinking, and you're right. A woman gave this scar to me. But, like, think of how beautiful he would be without, okay, like, so just, like, kind of cover the eye patch, right? You're like, yeah, no, he's pretty goddamn gorgeous with the bow and everything. The eye patch just fucking adds to it, though. You're like, so she kind of did you a favor? I mean, yeah, I'm sure it sucked and it was painful, but, like, the eye patch just adds to the whole fucking, like, sexiness. Just saying. Just saying. It's gotta suck you have no depth perception, but, like, whatever. You don't need too much. Just, you know where all the walls are. It's not like you're driving. She'd done it when I worked in a different store years ago. I'm trying to track her down so I can get my revenge on her. I swear I'll make her pay for this. As he continued to talk, he gradually began to squint. So he wants revenge, not because, like, I hurt her and she did this back to me. Or did she do it to him and he caused the scar because, like, she was fighting with him? You know what I mean? Like, think about it. The woman in the street, ah, fawning and yelling, and, like, maybe then he's like, no, you need to leave. You don't have any money. And then she's, ah! And he's trying to defend himself and causes the scar on her forehead, and then she does that. You know what I mean? Like, if someone was attacking you or, like, whatever, and you're trying to push them off, and they got injured, you'd feel bad about it, but it's kind of like, you did that to yourself, like, self-defense type of thing, and then they come at you and stab you in the eye? Like, the fuck? And then she's like, ha-ha! I'm just saying, I'm trying to defend him here. I don't know, but I'm just saying maybe. I doubt he walked up to her and was just like, ha! Cut your face! And then, you know, wants revenge because she injured him back. You know what I mean? I'm just guessing that's where it's going. They want you to be pissed at him, but it's not going to work on me because I love him. Like, he just got a little rapey, and I was still like, you know, that's a little wrong, but, like, I still love you. It's a little wrong because you stopped. No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible. Rape is not right. It's wrong. 100%. But I don't think it counts if I'm like, no, please stop. But no, I meant continue. Just keep going. Just... Look, he's giving me issues, okay? Just forget I said anything. God. Like, him being creepy and rapey is, like, a little wrong. You're like, you're being a little too forceful and rude, but I don't hate it. If you were anyone else, I'd stab you in the eye, too, but I came here for this, so... As he continued to talk, he gradually began to squint. These games fuck me up so bad. He looked so angry. It was like the fires of hell were burning in his eyes. And now's not the time to get him mad. A cold chill ran down my back. I could tell he had a deep desire for revenge. Kakuto always had a frightening side to him. That might have stemmed from his deep conviction for revenge. You're really going to get revenge on her? Yeah, I'm set on it. And so it might have been better if you had chosen a different courtesan to court. All I could tell him was, stop your quest for revenge. Sounds like your heart's set on it. Or, shrug. I think you should stop your quest for revenge. It's going to eat you alive. Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's absolutely the worst answer. Just nodding and shrugging is a better answer. Wow. Maybe because he would just, like, push us out the window or something. Like, she's smarter than me. She's like, smile and nod or be like, yep, sounds like a great idea. Because otherwise he's going to hurt me. I'm a little afraid. She's low-key terrified. But me, I'm like, no, you shouldn't do that. You should stop. It's going to eat your soul alive, sweet cheeks. And then he'd scream it and yell at me and probably, like, push me or some shit. And then, I don't know, there'd be some kind of, like, weird anger sex going on. I don't even know. This game's fucking me all up. It sounds like your heart is set on getting revenge. The desire has been there ever since she did this to me. Why would you go that far? He's like, I have no depth perception. Like, Kakuto simply looked up at the ceiling without answering me. And besides, again, the eye patch and the feather boa are helping. That's all I'm saying. Either way, you're still my wife tonight. So you'll have a few drinks with me, right? Kakuto quietly pulled over the tray with all of the refreshments on it. He mumbled to himself as if he'd conceded. His strong determination for revenge still burned in the back of his eyes. No matter how the cards fell, well, maybe in the back of that eye, because he's the revenge for the eye, but anyway. If things continued like this, I would be miserable. There was nothing I could do to convince him otherwise. Nevertheless, I wasn't the only one who wanted my relationship with Kakuto to flourish. If things continued like this, it wouldn't make my mother happy. No, you wanted me to be my true self when I'm around, well, with you, so I won't leave your side until you show me who you really are. Hearing my words, Kakuto began to frown, but he started to chuckle soon after. What's so funny? It's you. You just crack me up. It feels like I know what you're thinking, but I actually don't. You're so intriguing. Kakuto seemed like he was having a very good time. He poured me some rice wine and took my hand. Let's go to the bedroom. Huh? I want to talk with you a little more. And we can't do that here? With the saved? You want to go to the bed? Okay. But if you want me to make love to you, I'll be ready any time. Girl. His smirk, which was much closer to my face than usual. The burning revenge in his eyes started to get dimmer. Yet, I could still see the embers faintly lit. I did as he said and followed him into the bedroom. Having obtained Gakuto, one of the best and most popular courtesans in Yoshiwara, I felt a sense of attachment to it deep down in my heart. She's like, I got him, he's mine! Like, she's very possessive, is more like it. Hell. I followed Gakuto into the back room. I remembered waking up in his room the last time I'd come here. The bedroom looked very different at night, with only a lantern lighting it up. Come over here. Gakuto invited me over to the futon. You know, it's actually bad manners to sleep before eating. Those rules don't mean shit in the pleasure district. He swears. Loki fucking love him more now. What a filthy mouth. That remark came tumbling out, but I quickly stopped myself. Watching me, Gakuto burst into laughter. See, that's why I liked him. He's the one that's gonna swear. See if I give a fuck. Oh, turned on. There are times when I act rude and say filthy words. If I don't, all the stress will build up. But you wanted to know more about me, didn't you? This is who I am. His words were defiant as he lay down and poured some drinks. He had bad manners, but it was kind of romantic. It made my heartbeat quicken. It's romantic that he swears. See? It's all I've been trying to tell people. It's super romantic when you have bad manners and swear. If this was all a part of his plan, then Minnie really was terrifying in every situation. I decided to worry about it, go over to him, get a little closer. Get a little closer. Nope, just go over to him. Well, at least... Okay, I'm bad with him. I would just be failing so hard. If there a bad ending, because I'd get it. The game's like, there are no bad endings, but because you suck at this, bad ending. After worrying for a moment, I did as he said and walked over to him. So, sometimes you can act like a cute girl. We were now close enough to touch each other, and Gakuto grazed my cheek with the back of his hand. Without warning, I felt a squeezing pain in my chest. And drink some, too. Okay. I took the cup of rice wine that he passed to me. Gakuto stared at me as I placed the cup against my lips and started to drink. He softly whispered something to me. I'll tell you a story from my past. I could see sadness in the tone of his voice. I could sense. It's like you could see it? I could sense sadness in the tone of his voice. It made me feel a little uneasy. I had been sold to the pleasure district when I was 8 years old. That's so sad. Oh, before I go further, there are lots of courtesans who brag about their misfortunes, but I'm not that type of person. I've never told a woman about my past before. Then, are you sure it's okay to talk to me about it? You are the only one who's ever wanted to know about it. Even though there are tons of women who've yearned to be with me. The way he laughed at himself seemed a bit sad now. To encourage him to continue speaking, I poured more rice wine into his cup. He finished it in one gulp and instantly began to continue his story. As you already know, I'm originally from the mainland, but was sold here. Not to mention, my mother only sold me and not my sister because I was better looking. It was all for her alcohol expenses, too. He's like, I was hotter than my sister, so she sold me. Also, what was she... Well, I guess she wasn't going to sell your sister to the pleasure house, but she could sell her in some kind of child slavery. That's... On the one hand, you're selling your sons to the sex houses. That's kind of fucked up. But then you're also going to sell your daughter? Well, holy shit. This is darker and darker. That's horrible. I felt so sorry for Gakuto and couldn't help but cover my face. The courtesans here in the pleasure district were like prisoners. I had heard their lives were unfortunate, but hearing an actual story hurt my heart. And to make matters worse, I hadn't been sold to an established brothel like Ohgiya. It was called Kirimise, and was the worst brothel in all of Yoshiwara. But if you were so pretty and attractive as a child, that's kind of creepy. Like, I'm better looking than my sister. My kid's cute. He'll grow up handsome. I mean, you don't know. Kid could all of a sudden go through a growth spurt and start looking like a toad. But like, don't you think you'd get more money for your kid? I guess if you're desperate, you don't really give a shit. You're not going to shop around for the best deal. Oh, I'm sorry. All of the courtesans there had it bad. Some were ugly, sick, or just couldn't work at other shops. I'm sure you couldn't even imagine what kind of place it was. Was it really that terrible? Terrible? No. The place was more like a graveyard. That's where the courtesans go to die. Like, that's unfortunate. That's when you're really broke and you're like, I got $5? That's the place you go to. Kiramise. Right around the corner. I got like $5,000. Ohgiya. Like, Jesus. If you didn't crawl out of that hole, you'd never have a proper living for your entire life. That place was full of suffering for those who fell there from bigger brothels. He must have been remembering his time there because he looked aggravated. Like, who was it that was gonna get sold off to it? Oh, wasn't it, was Ohgiya in this one gonna get sold off somewhere else? Yes, that's why Utsusemi hatched the plan in his route to have Ohgiya opposes him. You can go have a happy life because they're gonna sell you to one of the other brothels because you can't uphold what you're supposed to be doing. And then they're gonna like, it's gonna be bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got a nice cushy job here. Like, you don't like it, but it could be worse. Could always be worse. He must have been remembering his time there because he looked aggravated. But I ended up making friends with a guy who'd been sold there like me. I thought I could endure all sorts of things if I did that. I was able to live through it because I had a friend to talk about all my troubles with. But Kakuto? I naturally reached over to hold Kakuto's hand tightly as he paused. We entwined our fingers and our hands were deeply interlocked. I realized that I was hoping that I could take away some of his pain by holding his hand. He died. I'd gotten my eye injured when I'd been over there as well. Bad things kept on happening to me. Although Kakuto was laughing as he spoke, it didn't actually look like he was laughing at all. It looked like he was falling back into his deep emotional scars, also physical ones. Because of that, I squeezed his hand even more tightly. A girl like you wouldn't know anything about these types of things, right? If I said I did, I would be lying. But I could come to know and understand them. There's no need for you to know anything else. But I really do want to help you in any way possible. In that case, find a woman with a scar on her forehead. You're like, okay, but even if I do, what am I gonna do? Fucking, like, throw a bag over her head, gag her, and drag her ass here? It's just a sack full of clothing that's on a woman who I beat over the head and she's unconscious and I gagged her, so it's fine. Just bringing it to Ohgiya to show the clothes. That's it. Yeah, off to... Not, because he wants to take revenge and probably murder her. Nope, not at all. When you're done, I'll just dump her in the harbor. Is that cool? Like, I mean, how to plan a murder. We're not going to do it well, that's all I'm saying. Kakuto suddenly grabbed my arm. That hurts. It felt like his eyes were searching the depths of my heart for answers. I was unable to bear it. I wanted him to give up on his revenge. Even if his strength stemmed from it and made him charming, I didn't think it was right. If it made him suffer this much, I knew it had to be wrong. Kakuto, it hurts. I told him again softly, and Kakuto quickly let go of me. Sorry. No, it's fine. I gently took Kakuto's hand, sandwiching it between both of mine. His hands were bigger than mine, but I was sure having him feel my warmth was enough. You really are a weird girl. When I'm with you, I think my dark soul gets a little cleaner. Really? Come closer, Spacey. Kakuto pulled me into his chest to embrace me. It felt like we were inseparable as he hugged me to the point where it hurt. He's just all about hurting you. His huge body wrapped around me, covering me with his warmth. For some reason, it felt like the corners of my eyes were burning hot. I'm a master at persuading women and sleeping with them, but I never knew there were different ways to hug someone. He was right. I wonder what kind of hug we were doing. The I need comfort hug. If it's just something like this, then, we could do it as much as you like. I wrapped my arms around his broad back.
Did you play it with your foraging toys? I can hear you trying to chew the paper off.
It was harder for me to get my arms completely around him. I could feel his warmth flowing into my arms. I can't believe I would like a pure and honest girl like you this much. Maybe you really should ask to see another courtesan next time. I don't want to. You're too good for me. But you're one of the best in Yoshiwara. The higher up we are, the filthier we are. I mean, probably, because the higher up you are, the more people you've had sex with. So I'm just saying. Lord knows. Shouldn't you just make yourself cleaner? I mean, if you're with me, your heart gets cleaner, right? You really are unreasonable. Still, I wanted you to hear me say that I didn't want to be with anyone else. I could feel his hot breath on my neck as he laughed. It made me shake. What's wrong? And don't tell me you're feeling it at a time like this. Stop! He started to suck on my neck. The soft, wet feeling left an unfathomable pain on my skin. Gakuto, please stop fooling around. I don't fool around when I'm sucking on someone's skin. Then, please stop. You're my wife, and yet you're always so strict with your behavior. Well, he slowly lifted his head from my neck and looked straight into my eyes. My heart started to beat faster. Maybe it was because he was staring at me, but I could sense what he was about to do. I've only just learned this after all these years. The more a man is with a woman, the cuter she becomes day by day. I'm cute? Yeah, you're hundreds of times cuter now than you were when I first met you. From just a simple kiss, I could feel my hidden feelings welling up in my body. Oh, it's also, too, because you're also spending more time with her and getting to know her slightly. Like, the first time you meet someone, you're like, they're hot. And then you're like, they open their mouth and you're like, oh, God, no, nope, not, nope, done. Or you're like, they're cute. And then you're like, my God, they're the most gorgeous person I've ever met in my life because they speak. Or he's the most gorgeous man ever in this game and he's a little bit of an asshole. And you're like, I mean, I'm a little disappointed, but, like, I'll take it. Not gonna lie, like, I'm waiting for the route to turn around because it's like, man, I wanted to save the best for last. It's not like Iroha when we went down his route. It's like, I don't even care. Like, I still love it so much. I'm like, slightly disappointed. Slightly. But we're only at the beginning, so I'm hoping it'll turn around and I'll be like, no, I was right to fall in love with him, but not like, I mean, it's not that I hate him or anything, but it's like, I had all these high hopes. My expectations are a little bit lower now. Sad. Anyway. Oh, that's right. I wanted to ask a favor of you. Again? Find the woman, do this, make me a kimono. I mean, you're getting a little demandy. We were close enough to feel each other's breath when Gakuto started to speak. The courtesans aren't allowed to walk outside during the day. I want you to take me out in front of the night stalls. But that would mean, if I'm with you, they'll give me some room for freedom. Please take me outside. I want to see my old friend's grave. There was no reason for me to deny him after hearing that. They're not allowed out during the day, and yet there's a festival. And we always go to the festival with our dudes. So, like, is it because they're meeting me? But we don't go to Ohgiya, pick him up, and like, okay, I'll have him back. But it's like Rent-A-Man. You go there, and they, like, handcuff him to you so he can't go away. Like, that's weird. See, now, actually, running away with him would be fucking perfect. But we'd have to give up everything. Would she do that? Probably not, but I'm just saying. I just want that so bad on one of these. I agreed to his request, and in a few days we followed through with it. Several days later, in the evening, I went to Ohgiya as scheduled to see Gakuto. After waiting at the entrance for a little bit, Spacey, Gakuto appeared and called my name as he casually waved to me. His rugged cheeks were lit by the setting sun instead of the nighttime lanterns. Without warning, my heart started to pound in my chest. And that's when you realize that the lighting, you're like, they're so handsome. And then you're like, oh God, in the sun, girl, what? I had an awful lot of sake to make you look good. I'm just kidding. No, they're even more glisteningly beautiful in the bright light. They glitter like Twilight vampires. Look, I'm just saying, I don't like Twilight, but I like that. Like, really? The reason why vampires like the nighttime is because they're sparkly? Fuck yeah, I love glitter. Like, man, I want to be sparkly. That's awesome. It's like hard. You gotta roll down the mat, and then you gotta cover yourself in like body gel or whatever, and then you gotta roll in the glitter, and it's just messy. It'd just be easier if you just naturally glittered. So the courtesans of Yoshiwara glitter. Anyway, shall we go? Yeah. Kakuto's face looked a bit gentle. Wow, I can't read. He stepped forward and tried his best to be inconspicuous. Kakuto led me to where he wanted to go, and we chose flowers together. I brought your friend an offering, but I'm not sure if he'll like it. The offerings I brought were some exquisite sweets made on the island. After all, they'd be hard to obtain in the pleasure district. I hope it wasn't inconsiderate of me. He was silent for a second. Feeling worried, I tried to gauge his feelings. No, it wasn't. I just never thought he'd get a proper offering. He was buried at a temple that no one tends to. He'll be surprised just to have visitors. He smiled at me gently, and I was overcome with strong affection for him. Like, maybe that's why he takes such good care of Utsusemi and, Ohgiya, you know what I mean? Because somebody took care of him when he was in that hellhole. The flowers... I quickly tried to change the subject. My heart banged against my chest loudly. It didn't matter what I was thinking. My emotions took over my body. Oh, the flowers. I'll let you choose them. I don't really know a lot about visiting graves. We could choose the flowers he liked, at least. No, he didn't have a favorite. Kakuto? Out of the blue, he lowered his voice. We lived in a place that was completely unrelated to any flowers. The only thing of elegance we had was an incense stick to track time. He spoke in such a self-torturing way, and then brought my head closer to him. As he embraced me, Kakuto gently kissed my head, sorry. Please choose the flowers. I'm sure he'll be happy with anything now that he's dead. Not knowing what to say, I lightly smiled at him. I was sure he hadn't had the chance to visit the grave very often. I had a somewhat elegant bouquet made, and we continued onward to the graveyard. Kakuto and I arrived at the shrine he'd been talking about. It was nowhere near praiseworthy. Kakuto then stopped in front of the gravestone. These are nice grave markers, though, I'm just saying. Like, they're pretty snazzy. Like, these are the cheap ones that we give to people we just, whatever. What? They look nicer than a lot of grave markers in graveyards I've been in. It's really sad that I've been in that many graveyards, but like, even like super old ones were really simple tombstone. You know what I mean? I don't know. They usually throw the courtesans that die in Yoshiwara here. Their names aren't even etched in it, of course, but everyone's sleeping under this gravestone. Oh god, so it's just like a mass grave? That's so depressing. Hey, well, okay. That's why it's kind of nice. Everybody's there. Oh, well, that just darkens that a little more than it already was. It's getting dark in here. I can't see. All people were born and grew up as equals. Even so, the courtesans struggled through a hard life, but were thrown into a nameless grave. Was that really acceptable? Tears slowly welled up in my eyes. Like, God, you just feel so bad. Like, you felt bad for them anyway, but like, this is harder, I think, Asagiri. Like, I totally enjoy my life. I'm here. I'm just having fun. And then Gakuto's over here like, everything is awful. God. This one's a bummer. Kakuto politely placed the flowers and sweets down as offerings. Yoshino, I never even knew if you liked flowers or sweets. Even though we'd supported each other through so many things. Kakuto quietly put his hands together and closed his eyes. I mimicked him, putting my hands together. I didn't know how long we stayed like that. My friend had told me that he was born in a hot area of the mainland. I was born in the cold northern province. Gakuto suddenly began to speak, so I opened my eyes to look at him. He was staring at the gravestone as he spoke. Maybe that's why he likes feather boas. People wore them in the mainland. It's cold, so I wear my feather boa. Okay. And during midwinter, heavy snow fell, covering the house in snow. And the kids in the area would always get frostbite while they shoveled the snow. When I would return home at night, the half-boiled rice filled my stomach while I slept. I'd shiver under our thin covers and itch my frostbitten skin. I couldn't even sleep. Still, I somehow fell asleep and woke up early the next morning to start a fire for the day. Gakuto quietly told stories from his hometown. I shoveled all the snow, and I lit the fire, and your mom and sister are dead. You know that, right? Because you basically are the reason why they didn't die. Like, freeze to death. They froze to death the first winter after they sold your ass. I'm just saying. Or his sister's probably like, Mom sold me too, which is thank God, because that shit was cold. I'm just saying. I simply stayed silent and listened to him. It was the only thing I could do. I've always had a grudge against adults for how selfish they are. They make their children work until they're exhausted, drink alcohol, and go to sleep. And there were so many times I wished my parents froze to death. But even if I hated them, they were still my parents. I wouldn't be able to survive without them. Gakuto stopped speaking and touched the gravestone. I turned around. I'm sure it's hard for you to imagine. Most of the people from this island think living on the mainland is prosperous and elegant. Not everyone's like that, but I don't have a very good idea of the northern provinces. Makes sense. The climate here is nice and comfortable. I'm sure you never had frostbite. Gakuto started to grin. You're like, also never had to shovel snow or like take care of my mother while she was puking from drinking too much. Like, my mother is very responsible and like runs her fucking shit. Just saying. Nevertheless, his smile brought a squeezing pain to my chest. Well, I guess it's better to be alive. Many of my old friends died. Some starved, and sometimes babies were killed due to poverty. Nevertheless, I'm still alive. And I've even come pretty far as a courtesan. His life is depressing. Oh my god. I feel really bad for him. I think he needs a hug. The sparkle in his eyes looked genuine. And yet, somewhere inside of him, he had a strong desire for revenge. I shut that thought away in my mind without asking him. Instead, I said, It's wonderful. How will you truly become happy? I'm glad you're alive. Like, that's wonderful. I feel like I get what she's trying to say. Like, it's wonderful that you're happy to be alive. But it sounds really awkward when he's talking about the frostbite and babies dying and all this shit. And you're like, that's wonderful. Were you listening? How will you truly become happy? Is like, I don't think that you're getting a little too philosophical there for him. Just no. I'm glad you're alive is the safest answer. Thank God that's the right one. Because I'm like, I'm really glad you're alive, Gakuto. Oh. He smiled as he gave me a short answer. If it's possible, I'd like for you to become even happier. I'm happy enough as I am now. Compared to my past, I don't have to go hungry, suffer from the cold, or be treated cruelly. But, Spacey, I'll only truly be happy the moment that woman dies. He shot a glare toward me, and that's the only way I would ever be able to find peace and happiness. I was at a loss for words after hearing his declaration. However, you really do resent that woman, huh? Of course I do. But I'm sure no one can truly be happy when someone else dies. And don't act so high and mighty, as if you could ever know that. Gakuto, if you see that woman again, will you kill her yourself? Gakuto! Without thinking, I grabbed his kimono and shook it. As he stared down at me, his eyes were terrifyingly frigid. His eye was terrifyingly frigid. I really wish whoever wrote that, would have actually, just put in the translation, his eye was. Because he's only got one. You can't see. Eye patch. Hello? I'm just saying it would have been funnier. But I do have fun nitpicking when it's like his eyes were frightening. His eye was frightening. There's one. It's just like being that asshole. It amuses me. Kakuto, you can't do that. You'll lose everything you've gained up until now. I don't care if I lose it. I've come this far because I vowed to exact my revenge. Damn it. I couldn't do that all in one breath. Damn it. Damn it. No. He scolded me harshly, giving me no room to argue. Unable to do anything, I felt horrible. I'll be like, I'm gonna leave right now, and then you're gonna get in trouble for being out by yourself. Do as I say, God damn it. I'm the one with the money. He kind of has some power, but I do too. I will never let you out of that fucking brothel again. What in the world could be the reason behind his strong conviction? As long as he hid the root of the problem, my heart would waver, unable to accept it. Anyway, this conversation is over. We need to get back to Ohgiya. Oh. Now that he mentioned it, the sun was close to setting. We had to return quickly because Ohgiya was going to open soon. Will you be coming to see me, Spacey? No, I haven't made a reservation for today. Is that so? Oh, how could I have been so silly? Forgetting to pay for taking you out today. What are you talking about? You're just doing this to help me out. But the other people of the store might get mad with me. I'll just tell them this is part of my plan to make you fall for me. You should go back before it gets dark. I'm sure your bodyguard is waiting for you at the gate. Okay. I'll walk you there. Thank you. So it's funny, so you would have, if you wanted, you could still see him during the day, but you'd have to pay for his time. While you're doing, if he's like, do me a favor, come by me so that I can go see my friend's grave, so I'm doing you a favor and I have to pay for it? Damn. He'd get the short end of the stick. Like, the fuck? We're not even getting the stick, if you know what I'm saying. Like, why do you make me play these games? Nobody makes me play these. I love this one. I really do love the Yoshiwara ones. They're great. At the end, it felt like he just changed the subject and get me to leave. I mean, he did. I wondered what I could do to make Gakuto give up on his quest for revenge. Tell him you murdered her. If things stayed the same, would he just forget about it if he didn't find the girl? No, because it's been years. I had no idea. Then again, was the reason for his revenge really worthy of such a cruel act? Could I tell him that he should stop, or that revenge for the sake of revenge wasn't worth it? Was worth it? Wasn't worth it. I looked over at Gakuto, watching him act like his usual self. He escorted me to the main gate. That night, I privately asked Musashi for a favor. And the details were to look into a courtesan named Yoshino who'd worked at Kiramise a few years ago. I was certain that that's the name Gakuto had said when he faced the gravestone and spoke. Maybe I could figure something out. Maybe that woman caused his death. Maybe I could find out the important details that he wouldn't talk to me about. I strongly wish that there would be some sort of ray of hope if I knew everything. I'm wondering if maybe she... I'm so curious, but I think we're going to have to stop here because we're like... You know what I mean? Because, well, here's the thing. So, she got involved with him or something, like, whatever. She said it was a courtesan she was involved with, and then she cut his eye. Who knows what the logistics. First, I was trying to defend him, like, okay, well, maybe she was, like, being crazy and psycho and, like, attacking him or whatever, and he was trying to fight her off, and he injured her by accident, and then she, went psycho. I mean, you never know. You saw that woman screaming in the street, right? Me? Oh, why would you love me? You know that. So, some bitches be crazy. Clearly. But maybe she somehow caused Yoshino's death. And that's why he wants revenge. It's not because she injured my eye. Like, I get you being pissed about that, but you're like, I'm gonna kill that bitch. Makes more sense that maybe somehow she caused his death. Or maybe she was involved with both of them, even though you're not supposed to, and then they killed him for it, or some shit. I don't know. She somehow is the reason why he's dead and he's pissed about that. I mean, that would make more sense to me. Or Yoshino was his courtesan name when he was in Kiramise, and now he's quote unquote dead. But why would he be like, I had a friend and let's go? I don't know what he likes. Like, you're talking about past you. That's not really, that's crazy. I mean, I'm just that could be, that's like a weird, you're like, what? Like Utsusemiya is just a dagger name, and like, I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? He's like, that was the part of me that died in that brothel, but then they buried him and he didn't, like, I mean, I guess that wouldn't really have worked out, but like, you know, weirder shit has happened in games and you're like, fucking explain this to me, because I don't think that works the way you think it works. But I'm guessing it's more like she somehow is the reason that Yoshino is dead. Because like, I get it, you'd be like pissed and you'd be like, you going to jail, bitch, I'm gonna testify at your fucking trial. But like, you wouldn't be like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, I mean, I'd be pretty pissed if someone blinded me. I'd be pretty pissed if somebody caused me to lose like an arm or a leg. But I don't know. I mean, maybe I'd sit here and be like, I hope they die in a fiery apocalypse. Because Lord knows, I say that about people sometimes just making me mad. But I'm not actually going to go out and get revenge and murder them. There is a difference between, fuck you, I hope you die in a pit of lava, and actually pushing someone in a pit of lava for like a slight against you. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to find out. Probably in this chapter, so that's going to be the next part. So, anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.